them, don't get me wrong. But they do tend to create a perception of judgment that if you don't do this, if you don't meditate like that, if you're not like this, and then you're not going to get there. So it doesn't work that way. The real creator does not judge. The real creator looks things from much, much grander perspective, and really it's the whole journey needs to be taken into consideration, and it's the scales of balance. This is what light is all about. You've got the centered state, then you've got one expression of life on one side of that centered state, and you've got another expression on the other side of that centered state, the waveform. So two expressions, and we've explored different charges and different archetypal constructs, and it's about reattaining balance in these archetypal constructs, all of them. So whatever somebody needs in this lifetime to reattain balance, that's what they need. And if you're in a prison or an army or a hospital or Alzheimer's, it doesn't matter. Your inner light and consciousness will come through. And the ones who have got a very heavy negative charge, they're going to hurt when it comes to rebalancing at the end. The further they've plunged into that charge, the more extreme the charge, it's going to be quite intense for them to get back. So they're not going to do it easy, but they'll do it very intense over a short period of time. And there are people who are very positively charged, and they're out of balance too, because the scales have got too much on the positive side of things. They're not very centered at all. So they're going to find it very difficult, very painful too, to let go a lot of their belief systems and their self-righteousness, because a lot of these beings are really quite self-righteous about their approach to life, the ones that are an extreme positive charge. So this is about being centered, and this is about being perfectly balanced. And it's looking at it from a much bigger picture. So a lot of the philosophies from ancient times were appropriate for the ancient times. And, those versions of enlightenment and all that were good for back then. But, like I said, we've been there and have done that. We did it back then. And for those of us who did it back then, it's not appropriate for us to do it now. But there may be some people who are exploring these things for the first time in the human journey, and that's good for them. It's just no longer appropriate for me.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, George. Next question's from Green Meadow.
Hi, George.
Hi.
This question's actually from forum member Space. You've answered part of it, that 2 billion will ascend, 500 million will go off-world, and the remainder will perish. He's asking, who are the remainder? Is it the head honchos of the New World Order? And can their souls ever reincarnate again?
Well, the people that die, look, there's also when it comes to death, there's not just one location. Not everybody goes to one place and gets judged and all that crap. There are those who experience that because they're caught up in the false light constructs of their false gods who keep them recycling them and have them make sure that they don't believe in anything called reincarnation and impose those sort of ideologies so they can keep recycling them and feeding off them. It's a very, very clever plan. And so some people experience that, but there's not one location. I mean, people come from very far reaches of the cosmos on many different levels of reality to incarnate on Earth. There's a lot of life here coming from many different levels. So when someone passes over, some will go to the fifth, some are on their way down. So they might have come from an upper reaches of the fourth, had their experiences here, and now going back to the lower reaches of the fourth, or even down into the third. Somewhere else. So, yeah, it's individual journeys, and people keep making the mistake of tainting everybody with one brush, and that's not the case. There's so many things going on. If you can think of it a bit like a central station, people come here and then they've got all different destinations. So some people will come here and go back to exactly where they came from, and others don't. So it's not one rule fits all. So I just want to make that point clear. The other one is, some who go into underground bases will perish. Some will escape through stargates. There are underground bases being created, and they don't have stargates, and they're being led to their demise. So that's the message I have for the ruling elite and the shadow government and all the people who think they're way above everybody else, that you're really just pawns in a game and you're much lower down the ranks than you have been led to believe throughout your life. And I know your egos will struggle with what I'm saying to you, but if there's any ounce of substance within you, you'll understand that what I'm saying is real, is true, because your realities are so compartmentalized. And like I've said in previous interviews, come and see me, and I will tell you what's really going on, because you guys are being played like pawns, and you're being led to your demise.
Yeah, Cliff actually said something like that as well. The next question is about the mechanics of ascension. Some people say we go to sleep for 3 days and 3 nights and wake up and find we're on a new Earth. Is that in line with what you expect? And how does this tie in with the Mother Earth turning into a star? Will those of us that ascend end up living on a star?
Yeah, we did cover that before, because we will be in with Mother Earth. We ascend with her, and when she becomes a star, we become universal consciousness with her. So we'll be on her body. I had the experience because the future's already happened, so I got a glimpse of that. And the weird thing about it is there's no shadows anywhere, even underneath things. It's just light everywhere. It's weird, and it's not a blinding light. It's just light emanating from within everything. There's no sun in the sky. And everything lives off light, and there's no energetic centers in anything. Everything's just pure expression. The ecosystem, the whole lot. It's just amazing. And sorry, what was the other part of that question?
Do we go to sleep for 3 days and nights and just wake up on a new Earth?
Yeah, the reason I asked that is because, when you connect with yourself and you express, if I say a piece of knowledge, I am that information. You become the knowledge that you express. So I go into, all of a sudden I'm in ascended mode, and then I go into this mode or that mode. So I keep my energies fluctuating all the time. So that's why sometimes I go into a mode and my ego doesn't quite keep up with the way I'm changing. So I forget. So I have to ask the question again. So it's about being our expression. So crikey. So I forgot it again. Can you say it again one more time?
What's the mechanics of ascension? Do we go to sleep for 3 days and 3 nights?
All right. Now, the 3 days and 3 nights thing, I don't resonate with that. I've got to be honest. I just don't. I feel that if people are going to go for sleep in 3 days and 3 nights and find themselves in another world, wow, I'd say that that's a real big candidate for being put to sleep by ETs, getting taken in a ship and get planted on another planet. That's perfect candidate for that. And I'm not making that up. That is really, that kind of material is perfect. It's like the Galactic Federation of Light. There are some of their ambassadors here on the planet promoting one of their versions of ascension being the ascension chambers. That they'll be taken into these ascension chambers. They will step inside them, and when they come out, they'll be fully conscious beings. Well, hang on a minute. I don't want to step inside a chamber, a piece of technology, have somebody controlling that technology, and therefore control the level I ascend to. No thanks. If people want to do that, go right ahead. But that to me is not ascension. That is somebody controlling your ascension. So the 3 days and nights thing, that sounds to me, that smells of that sort of thing. For me, people are going to be fully alert through their ascension. They will know from deep in their heart. They'll reconnect with everything, the conscious of the planet, the conscious of the universe. They will know their own eternal essence, and it'll be organic, and they will know fully consciously aware everything that's happening every moment of the process. So that's how I understand it.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. This is Gemini, and we have about 4 questions left. And the first question is from forum member Free Spirit.
Sure.
In a recent interview, you stated that we should disregard your previous teachings and proclamation that you were an agent of the Galactic Federation of Light, and since then you realized you were under mind control. How are you able to determine that you were under mind control, and how is it that you were able to determine that you were no longer under mind control?
Yeah, really good question. And that's what I say to people. I say, please don't take my word for the things that I say. Please feel into your own hearts and find out for yourselves, because, this isn't about misleading people or, making followers or anything like that. This is about self-empowerment. So I say to people, I'm a realist, right? Let's keep it real. Let's entertain different possibilities here. Either I'm totally deluded, like really deluded, because I truly believe in what I'm saying, right? So right. I will totally entertain that idea. And mind you, I've had a lot of I had 3 emails from psychologists and psychiatrists say to me that we work with deluded people all the time, and we want you to know that these people of accusing you of being deluded are wrong, because all the attributes you show us, prove to us that you are not deluded. But anyway, that's just 3 little opinions, and but I will always keep that option open because I'm a realist. So what else? Am I under mind control? I could be propagating and exercising a mind control program. I could be. I will entertain that idea. I have been mind controlled before. The reality is everybody listening is mind controlled. So, you're all mind controlled. That's fact. That's reality. You don't know everything that's going on. You don't know your full history of who and what you are, who and what the human race is. You are in a mind control matrix program. So, so I'm just putting that out there for he or she who has not sinned, please cast the first stone, or the pot calling the kettle black. So that's where I'm coming from with that statement. And second of all, the degree of mind control that I've experienced, has been excessive compared to most people. So when I realized this is because what I was feeling in my heart didn't align with what was going on in my head. And the more I go into my heart, the more I feel this knowledge that I share. It just feels right. It just sits and it fits with all the experiences that I had, my connections with Mother Earth, my connections with Father Son, my experiences of going into different ships, interacting with different races, of having been taken down into underground bases, the shadow government, having been tortured by both the shadow government and extraterrestrial races. Why would they have done that? And a pattern emerged in my life over many years. And it's quite obvious what they were trying to do is because they knew I was going to be doing this in the future, getting up and having a say in a big way, and they wanted to control what I said. And so that becomes quite obvious. And even that reptilian shape-shifting video that's out about me, and anyone with half a brain or half an ounce of substance can actually see that it was a heavily pixelated video, and all they did was slip into those pixelations the images they wanted people to see. Now, you don't have to be a professor to work that one out if you just stop the video and have a look. It's obviously there's big square blocks there of an overlaid image. But, people who are caught up in that conspiratorial drama can make their own minds up, because obviously they're not making it up from their hearts. They're just seeing it from the conspiratorial drama that they've been the drama vortex they've been sucked into. So, I could have taken that down. I want you to know that. But I didn't. I left it there because it's really exposing people, and it's serving a really good purpose for them, because, to be or not to be, tis nobler to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. So I'd rather just be and suffer a bit of persecution and ridicule, because what I'm doing is providing a wonderful service for these people. So I don't mind copping a bit of flack if it helps a lot of people. So that's why that's still up there. And we laughed about it before we even put it out there, the pixelation, somebody's going to use this, and they did. So we've got the raw footage, and it's, those images are not on the raw footage. So there's a heavy pixelation, but those images are not there. So really it's,